Guys, I'm creating Angry Birds with RTX on. All right, get me down from here. Last episode, we made Subway Surfers RTX, and I thought that was my most ambitious project, but then everyone voted for Angry Birds next. This is gonna be so hard. First on the checklist is creating a realistic 3D Angry Birds character. Because, I mean, come on, would it be RTX with this?
Y'all losing me, man.
I bought the 3D models, imported them into Blender, and then proceeded to stare at this dude for 20 minutes, trying to figure out how in the world I'm gonna make a red ball with eyes realistic. But, you know, I did it, I think.
I like it, cut G.
I gave my dude a fresh fade, gave him some realistic skin. That's kind of weird to look at, kind of scary, not gonna lie. Some beak, and a tongue. Bro, what is this? As I was creating this part of the video, I was actually on a snowboarding trip, so I had to do all of this on my laptop. And let's just say... No! So yeah, after that, the other birds are just gonna have to sit out on this one. Now that we got our characters, it's time for the physics. This is the part that I was probably the most excited for, and honestly kind of the most nervous, because this is the most important part of Angry Birds. If I can't make these physics work, then this whole thing is just useless. So to make these physics, I'll be using something called a rigid body simulation in Blender. This kind of simulation allows objects to interact and collide with each other, kind of like how they would in real life.
Hey, yo, what the
But it gets kind of confusing because unlike Angry Birds, I can't just move my finger, draw back, and fire. I have to manually set up the keyframe movement, start drawing backwards, then forwards. I have to unparent the bird from the slingshot, uncheck animated, and wait a few minutes, and then it just flying, and then for the TNT. And boom, there's our working Angry Birds. It's pretty cool. I don't really know how it works. It's some fancy math, but I mean, you can even tell how much an object weighs. I mean, I think that sounds about right. I have absolutely no idea why I made that. But, you know, you should subscribe or Mr. Big Bird over here is going to chase you into the back room.
We do not care.
Obviously, we can't use these placeholder blocks, so I had to create my own realistic Angry Bird objects. We got wood, glass, and then TNT. Some of them I downloaded, and then you can probably tell which ones I modeled. Yup. So if we run back that test demo, we've got a way more convincing RTX Angry Birds. Now all that's left to do is design the levels. Not gonna lie, Angry Birds kind of has some fire-looking levels, so I have a little bit of competition. And that's kind of where I started to fall apart. I let the stress get to me. I bought some 3D rocks, then I realized that I'm making this realistic, not cartoony, so they won't even work. Then I was like, you know, I'll just model my own rocks. Nope. See, this is why I don't model things, so... Okay, then I got serious. I deleted everything and decided I'm gonna do what I do best, using 3D models that are already made and just moving them into place. Now this is actually looking pretty good. One thing I loved about the original game was this little foreground element, so I wanted to make my own, and I ended up cooking up this. But there's no background, so...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If only it was actually that easy. After that small little W, I had to redeem myself from this. I mean, like, I knew I could do better. So I took on the task of 3D modeling the slingshot. Not gonna lie, I'm actually stoked on how it turned out. But the hard part of the slingshot was I had to rig it so it could be controlled and fired. This was actually a nightmare to figure out. It took so many hours. I did like multiple versions. The only tutorial I could find was on a bow and arrow. And I don't know about y'all, but this is clearly not a bow and arrow.
Are you sure about that?
So after pulling my hair out, I eventually got it to work. So when I move the little slingshot controller, it moves and follows it everywhere. It's just so satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, I put those objects to use and built this monstrosity. I'm gonna do multiple levels, but for this one, I wanted it to be insane. So we're pretty much done now, right? Like, I mean, that's pretty much RTX Angry Birds right there. It was missing a few things, like huge explosions, green particles for the pigs. I had to design and animate my own score counter, level cleared screen. I had to add sound effects for it all, and then do this all over again for the 2 other levels. 100 plus hours of work, and then another 20 hours of rendering just for it to all be compressed into a short video. So if you guys enjoy these bangers, hit that sub button so we can ratio my dad. And I may or may not be working on GTA 6. You're definitely not gonna wanna miss that, trust me. But without further ado, Angry Birds RTX On. I absolutely loved how this turned out. Just the detail is crazy. Let me know which level was your favorite down below. This was by far my biggest project yet, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.